have not been released. So police have not released their names. They have not even said what charges may take place. But given this was a scuffle between the two of them, who knows, he may try and claim self-defense. We'll just have to wait and see what comes out of that. But either way, a lot of you fired up on our Facebook page about this morning. Eddie saying, you know, it's just a football game. Get over yourselves. Faye saying, this is being stupid, fighting over football. And of course, a shooting over football. And of course, it had to be the Texans and the Cowboys. You know, there's a rivalry there, not just in football, but Houston versus Dallas, right? But certainly not worth physically fighting and shooting each other over. So we'll have to stand by and see if any charges come out of that. By the way, both of those teams, as we reported overnight, both those teams lost yesterday. It was a painful loss for the Texans. Now on to an even sadder story that we learned about over the weekend. An 11-year-old boy that we were talking about before. This 11-year-old child, you can see him right here. He collapsed at a football event. You may remember at a Klein ISD school last week. His name's Josiah Miles. We spoke with his family yesterday, and unfortunately we've learned that he has passed away. An autopsy is being performed to determine the exact cause of death. This apparently happened at a Klein ISD school, but the school district says it was not an official school event. It was a football practice for a private league, and he collapsed on the grounds of Strack Intermediate after this football practice, and they were not able to get him to gain consciousness again. Doctors believe blood vessels burst in the child's brain. And unfortunately, they do not know the cause of that so far. But his parents described Josiah as the light of their lives, of course. Well-mannered, funny, kind, thoughtful. He's athletic. He played tight end and safety for the All-American youth football team. He played for the Rams team. And Josiah's father said his son possessed a caring sensitivity for those he saw struggling. You know, as we drive around town in Houston, we always see panhandlers and homeless people, and some people say it's not for us to judge and to give freely, you know, from our hearts. And apparently little Josiah, that's what he would do, and he wouldn't make it small bills. He always wanted to give homeless people $20 bills. That's what his dad says. So after he collapsed at this practice on last week, he was rushed to Texas Children's Hospital in the Woodlands. From there, he was transferred to Texas Children's Hospital, where they did have a heartbeat. But unfortunately, we have learned that he has passed away. They're trying to compare it to more of an aneurysm at this point, but we'll have to stand by and see as more information comes out. And of course, our thoughts and prayers go out to this poor family. They just say that this is like a bad dream to them, and they just keep waiting to wake up. And they just have not woken up from this horrible, horrible nightmare. And of course, we're continuing to follow the latest on that tragic murder on Friday of Deputy DHALIWAL. And of course, you're looking here at some of the mementos, the memorial that's been established, some of the vigils that have taken place already from over the weekend. And the memorial, even this morning, we were out there on H-Town Rush on KHO11, and the memorial just continues to grow, as it should, right? The suspect in court this morning, you know, if you watched KHO11 News at 10 last night on Sunday night, there were victims advocates groups that we spoke to who were just blasting the parole board over this killing because the suspect, I'm not even going to name his name, but this suspect, you know, he's a lengthy criminal history. They're saying that he should have been in prison, shouldn't have even been out, and he was out, and this is the result of that. So now we have another vigil planned for tonight, if you'd like to attend, for the victim, for that deputy. It's going to be at Deputy Darren Goforth Park. This is in the 9100 block of Wheat Cross Drive in Northwest Harris County, planned for 6:30 to 8 p.m. tonight. And you know, if you've seen on our Facebook page, we've been telling people, go to this vigil, be there for the family. And of course, if you can't be, you can also share your thoughts, your kind words on our Facebook page. We'll check in there in a second. But of course, this is such a tragic event. It's our number one story from the last few days. It's just a story, it's a headline we hate to see, of course, and we're continuing to follow the latest with that, and the poor family still dealing with that loss. For now, the suspect involved in this crime, by the way, he still remains in jail, of course, like I said, in court this morning, and no bond given this time around. So people still upset about the parole board allowing him out for those previous convictions. Switching it up now, let's talk a little bit about weather. Unseasonably warm conditions continue. So yeah, this is Houston, Texas, right? Low 90s in the daytime. Today it's partly cloudy, no significant chance for rain for the start of your week. Thursday, Friday, a very slight rain chance through the weekend, and we'll still have daytime high temperatures topping out around 90, overnight lows in the low 70s. We are expecting the possibility of a front. You know, we're looking at snow photos up in the northern United States from over the weekend. Very early fall snowfall up there, icy conditions as well. That is not going to come to Houston anytime soon, but we are hoping to get a little bit cooler weather. We'll have to see. This front could push through this weekend, which means maybe by Tuesday or so, we'll have a little less humidity, which goes a long way, and we'll have lower temperatures by just a few degrees, maybe mid-80s for our daytime highs. But hey, we'll take it. That'll put us back down to where we should be for this time of year. The start of fall in Houston, usually our average high temperatures are in the mid-80s. Overnight lows could dip into the upper 60s early next week. We'll have to stand by and wait and see if this fall makes it all the way through, and if it does, how cold those temperatures will be as they pass through. So Brandon, what are you seeing in the chat this morning? Everyone asking, where's Brandy?
Yeah, nobody yet. I guess they don't mess with her.
Brandy's in school this morning. She's in a training session that we have here in the newsroom right now. So she was on our news this morning. She was in H-Town Rush, but that's why she's not here right now. So, but I'm sure lots of condolences for the deputy. What's the conversation we're hearing there?
Yeah, we do have a couple of people sending thoughts and prayers. Sheila saying, rest in peace. Yeah, I think people are just generally, this is a tough story.
What can you say at this point, right? Yeah. It's tragic. And I know over the weekend, people were just as shocked on a Sunday morning, we learned, very, very early Sunday morning, a New York City police officer shot and killed. I believe it was in the Bronx. It was just another, another thing that police face every day, the dangers that they face, if not from shootings, from car crashes. So it's just tragic. You got to stay alert out there and stay safe. So, but of course, we'll continue to follow these latest headlines. We want to thank you for joining us here on our AM update. You can rewatch it if you missed the beginning. It'll be updated here on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel if you want to watch from the very beginning. Again, I'm Doug Deloney. Thank you for joining us.